Hey everybody, it's Jamie at One More for the Good Guys, continuing with our podcast tutorial. This is a very much so a beginner tutorial. In the last video, I showed you how to roll off the low end using a high pass filter. And remember, high pass filter means that you're allowing the higher frequencies to pass through. Okay, and I've got that set at 80 hertz. Let's take a listen.
Learn what they were about. And then I started watching it and zeroing in on the character.
Okay, if I go up to something ridiculous,
And to be dead honest with you guys,
you can see how the body of the voice is gone.
I was like, MASH ended up playing a part.
Okay, so let's go back, set that at 80. Okay, so the next thing I do is if you're in a recording environment or somebody sends you some files where they don't have a whole lot of microphone isolation, which is what we have here with our setup, you're going to love this next little plug-in from Waves. Okay, let's listen to the background noise here. I want to turn up the gain so you can really hear it.
I'd give it like props for a songwriting influence because I love the dark humor in it. I loved how that they were in a dead serious.
Okay, and that's a sound you're going to become familiar with as an audio engineer. You can hear the background noise. The microphone's turned on hot enough to the gain is up such to where the microphone can be heard, but if he backs off the microphone or whatever, or you have bleed over because we're all talking with each other in the same room. In comes this little plug-in called Clarity VX. I'm going to reset it. Got three little presets here. And if you click through them, you'll see what they're for. Better for keeping voice detail and secondary speech. Okay, don't want secondary speech because even though I've got one file up here, I've got an isolated microphone file for each person speaking, isolated as it can be. So let's go to number 2. Better for severe ambience, keeps mostly main voices. All right, so in other words, simulates a close mic, which is what you want. So let's take a listen.
Situation, but they found a way to make it funny, but there was also a sadness
Okay, I'm going to engage this. There will be no change because I've got this dial all the way down.
there. And years later, when I'd be writing songs,
Take a listen as I dial this in.
I've wrote songs that are funny, and I've had people burst out laughing when I hit the punchline. But one of my songs I wrote with my good buddy Gary Lee, it was called "Eating in the Yard." You know,
Now I want you to take a look at this graph over here, this audio waveform, and you can see where it's dipping out automatically, dipping out the unwanted stuff. So take a look.
shitting in the house, eating in the yard song that we wrote. I'll be honest, I was kind of
This is with it.
leaning on my MASH influence because to me, it's a sad story if you really zero in on what I'm talking about. Because
without it.
this guy has got his disability check, and now he thinks he.
Fantastic little plug-in. Second thing on my chain here, I've got the high pass filter and then Clarity VX, and that gets that audio signal cleaned up for me so we can go on to the next tutorial. See you next time. That's One More for the Good Guys.